right, you already know what it is, Fourth Quarter Boys Sports. It is me, the illustrious one, Professor Lake, in the building. And today we're going to talk about the Chicago Bears' victory over the Denver Broncos, 16-14 in Denver. You know, the fellas, they put in a good fight tonight. We're going to talk about it. But before I do, you know what I do right around this time is Fourth Quarter Boys Sports. It is me, the illustrious one, Professor Lake, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Chill. Be a Fourth Quarter Boy for life, man. Hit that notification bell. Support the channel. Click the link in the description box. Become a Patreon tonight. All right, let's jump right into it. So looking at the game overall, you know, some of the complaints that, you know, we had from the previous game against the Packers, it seemed like Matt Nagy was able to make those adjustments. I'm definitely happy to find out that he found value in running the ball and, you know, calling plays that are going to help out his quarterback. Offensive line play seemed like it was cleaned up a little bit more. You know, there still were some areas that I thought they could have done better at in the running game as well as the passing game. Again, Charles Leno Jr. definitely has to eliminate some of these penalties. Definitely the first one that was a hold I thought was kind of ticky-tack. Be that as it may, definitely need to clean those things up. But overall, offensively, it was great to see David Montgomery get fed the ball repeatedly. You know, I like how hard he runs. I like that it's very hard for defenders to get him on the ground. It seemed like there were a couple plays where the referee just had to blow the whistle because David Montgomery was not going down to the ground. With a running back like that, you think that the offensive line would be able to open up a little bit bigger holes. I mean, this guy is going to do the work for you guys. Just give him a little crease and, you know, he's going to work wonders for our running game. He was getting yards when there really were no yards to be gotten. And he made something out of nothing a lot during that game. Mitchell Trubisky was limited in the passing game. Definitely not trying to say that Matt Nagy put him on punishment and took the keys to the car back, but it definitely seemed like that during this game. I think that a lot of the plays were stripped down, a lot of the audibles and expectations that Matt Nagy put on Mitchell Trubisky were pulled back a little bit, and I think it helped him out in the passing game, being a little bit more decisive, showing better anticipation on some of his throws. And you got to give it up, man. You know, the offensive line protected Trubisky relatively well during this game. He was clean. I don't think he got sacked at all. And, you know, he was able to do some things with his feet to extend the play at the end of the game to get us in field goal range. So, you know, I think he definitely was able to buy himself some time and get a little bit of that heat off his back that he was getting from that Green Bay Packers game. You know, he did show that he could lead a game-winning drive. So I'm not going to say I was, you know, elated by what I seen out of Mitchell Trubisky, but the plays that he needed to make, he made them right on time. Another thing that I liked about the offense was being able to possess the ball for a long period of time. We were able to get Tariq Cohen involved, David Montgomery got involved, Adam Shaheen got involved in one of these drives, and, you know, all hands were on deck tonight. The beginning of the second quarter was a continuation of a drive that the Bears had already started at the end of the first quarter, leading to Eddie Pinero 40-yard field goal. Eddie Money was doing his thing today. So I think we found ourselves a kicker. I think that was the beginning of it, the 40-yarder. And, you know, hopefully we don't have to keep dealing with this situation. I think he has the leg strength to do what he did today on a regular basis. So as long as he stays healthy, you know, I think Eddie Pinero will have a decent little career with the Chicago Bears. All throughout the game, the defense stood strong, getting the ball back for the offense. Again, when the Chicago Bears offense got back on the field, you know, Matt Nagy was running the ball, and they were running the ball successfully. So hopefully Matt Nagy, you know, won't be so apprehensive towards turning to his running game to help carry his team. And again, Eddie Pinero comes back in the second quarter and he kicks a 52-yard field goal for the Chicago Bears with plenty of room left. So here we are with Eddie Pinheiro building more confidence, and all we do is look at Matt Nagy on the sideline, and he's shaking his head up and down with satisfaction. Everyone was on the edge of their seats at that time. Eddie took on the pressure, and he handled his business with the 52-yarder. Defense steadily holding strong. Offensively, Matt Nagy continues to lean on the running game, and it's surprising that he doesn't, lose his patience and starts getting pass happy. He continues to stay committed to the run. You even see Cordero Patterson pop up with a long run in the third quarter. So these are the type of plays that I think everybody on that offense wants to build off of. I think they developed a little bit of confidence. I think they developed just in game experience alone, playing together and being more up to game speed and game quickness. It was like a night and day comparison between this game and the Green Bay Packer game, even though the score and the amounts of points really don't show that it was like a shootout or anything like that. But we went down the field, we got 3 points. We went down the field again, we got another 3. We drove down the field, got a touchdown. And then we were able to drive down the field again in the fourth quarter and get another field goal, the game-winning field goal. And everybody knows how crazy that fourth quarter was, with the back and forth, the penalties, and then finally the Denver Broncos actually going ahead and getting that 2-point conversion and putting us back on our heels, and us having to drive down the field and call a timeout with 1 second left on the clock and kick another 50-yarder. Great game by Eddie Pinheiro. I think he definitely deserves a game ball just for being consistent, just for what they asked him to do. These weren't 30-yard kicks or 40-yarders. He was getting back there, and he had a lot of room left if they had to have him kick from a further distance. But defensively, I was impressed. I mean, again, it's not a lot of turnovers. We got to Joe Flacco a lot. I just think he's a veteran. He knows how to deal with pressure, and I hope Mitchell Trubisky took notes in just how Joe Flacco was able to sit back there and still deliver a good pass and not get rattled when you got a Bears defense with Khalil Mack, Leonard Floyd, Akeem Hicks, and you got guys in the secondary coming and blitzing every 5 minutes. That's one thing I can say about Joe Flacco. He kept his cool. Defensively, who else stood out to me? Buster Screen stood out and made a couple plays. It's becoming a name in this second game. He did make a bad play at the end of the game, jumping off sides and almost giving the victory to the Broncos. But before that, he did make 2 really good plays, blitzing in and causing some pressure. Floyd continues to flash. I'm liking what he's doing off the edge. I like what he's doing in the run game. Khalil Mack, even though he doesn't show up in the stat sheet like he did last season, you could tell that he's definitely a challenge. The guy that he was going up against caught 5 or 6 holding penalties. So that's just like a sack in my book. Khalil Mack is doing his thing. Akeem Hicks was kind of quiet. I think he had a tackle for a loss a couple times. Secondary-wise, it seemed like they were allowing the receivers to run beneath them, and they were just more concerned with making a tackle. So that made me nervous when I saw Kyle Fuller get scorched in the corner of the end zone. He did have an interception on the day as well. The end zone catch wasn't pretty. All in all, it was good to see the guys fight like they did. It was good to see the offensive line try to take some steps forward and improving, some of the mishaps from the last game. I'm glad to see Mitch Trubisky back at the helm. I like Mitch Trubisky. I do. And I think a lot of people like Mitch too. They just really want him to show up, start developing. We don't want to go backwards, Mitch. We need you to, complete some of them passes when you got receivers wide open. Don't get so jumpy in situations like that and deliver a good pass. That's all we're saying. Again, Eddie Pinheiro, Eddie Money, I think he quieted a lot of people talking about the Bears kicking situation. And with that in mind, I think we found us a good kicker. But you let me know what you think. Did you enjoy the game? You let me know what you think. The Bears win 16-14 over the Denver Broncos. We needed that victory. Again, the guys fought hard. You see in the defense, almost let the game slip away, but we were able to hold on. Mitchell Trubisky was able to drive down the field and get our team in a position to win. And we finally found a kicker that could win some games for us. All right, so I'm about to get out of here, man. So you know what it is. It's Fourth Quarter Boy Sports. I'm your illustrious host, Professor Lake. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Be a Fourth Quarter Boy for life, man. For life, man. Hit that notification bell. Support the channel. Become a Patreon by donating and clicking on the link in the description box. Holla at your boy. I'm gone.